Folks, today we are here in Charleston, South Carolina. Dawn, Jamie, are you guys ready?
Ready.
Ready.
Let's do this. And this is our second time in Charleston. We absolutely love it here. All the beautiful homes. And we're gonna start today's adventure right here on East Bay Street. And right here on the bay.
Yes.
In the bay. And it's a very interesting town, a lot of history. They even have an aircraft carrier you can tour. We're not gonna do the aircraft carrier today, unless you want to.
Okay.
No aircraft carrier. Just these beautiful, beautiful homes all along East Bay here. And there's nothing like walking around Charleston, taking a look at all these old homes. Of course, we have the beautiful bay behind us here. There's a lot of construction going on in some of these homes. That's good to see. They're putting a copper roof on this one. Got all these statues and a great big gazebo down there. April of 1905, so this is over 100 years old.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I can see like a band up here playing in the park. I love these old oaks. The 2 Meeting Street Inn. And you have to be here to see this for yourself. It's just grand. Yeah, so this here is the Williams Residence, the largest mansion. Wow, it is grand. Look at these gates. Very cool. A lot of security cameras on this one here.
Like details on the gate itself.
Yeah, just the gate itself. Absolutely beautiful though. I love all the gas lights. Yeah, it's the Williams Mansion. It is private. Yeah, Williams Mansion is closed, but look at this grand entrance. What do you think of this?
The statue's got some creepy looking eyes.
Staring into your soul.
They are.
What do you think, Jamie?
Definitely top notch. Almost said it.
The largest residence here.
There's a doorbell.
Hey, you should ring it and run. Ding dong ditch.
Ding dong ditch, yes.
Thomas Hayward Jr., house was built in 1803, a South Carolina signer of the Declaration of Independence. 34 and a half. It's kind of like a Harry Potter thing going on. Oh, I love the old American flag. What is that, the 13 stars?
Yeah, powder for each.
Yeah. And those gas lights are always fun. And almost every house has a story. And they got these pretty much on every house. And this one here was built in 1743. Very interesting interesting stories to a lot of the homes. Pretty soon it will be Halloween. So we're here at St. Michael's Church, and there's folks buried right here on the sidewalk. 1835. And there's some folks that are buried right underneath the church, I think, right? Yeah.
Here lies the body of the butler.
So here's John Rutledge. I think that's how you say his name. He was the first president and the first governor of South Carolina, the Chief Justice of South Carolina, and the Chief Justice of the United States. John is a patriot and a statesman. He also signed the U.S. Constitution. And we ate there last time we were here. Very good. North of Broad. The Charleston City Market since 1807. And if you want souvenirs, come to the market. Very good prices on everything. Pretty much got everything you need. Very nice magnets at that. And a can opener. That's a nice one there. Yeah, that one there is only $5 as well. And wherever we go, there's a Pepper Palace. We are going on a carriage tour. We're going to learn a little bit about the history of Charleston. And last time we were here, we wanted to do this. We didn't do it, but this time we're going to do it. I'm excited for this. What do you think?
I'm excited.
Yeah. So we are going to be taking a tour on a carriage ride. Now, our carriage is on its way right now, but this is a lot of fun. Jamie, are you excited?
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I've never done this before. So.
And that's our carriage. That's our pony, or horse at that.
Well, hey guys, yeah, we'll be on our way. My name's Daniel. And our handsome horse up here is Chico.
Hi, Chico.
Chico and the man.
You're the second person today. And as for me, guys, I am from right here in Charleston. I grew up right downtown, just a few blocks from here.
Oh, wow.
Been doing tours in the city for like 20 years now. Everything from carriage tours like this to craft beer tours. Did the ghost tours.
Oh, okay.
Did a ghost tour yet?
No, is it good?
Yeah, they were pretty fun, I guess. I only did the ghost tours briefly because I just got so scared. But, yeah, just couldn't handle it. But listen, guys, we got one more quick stop to make before we do start the tour itself, and that's right up here at the corner. This is where I find out which of the routes we're going to do. So since we're slow, the city spreads us out so we don't cause traffic congestion. So we have set routes we do, and I don't ever know which one we're going to do until I get here. It's a lottery system that decides that. So we got the best route. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get rolling, you guys. Right off the bat, you guys can see one of the city's very famous landmarks in front of us there, St. Philip's. For the first 10 years of the settlement's existence, though, they didn't have a priest and were unable to establish a formal parish church until 1680. And they finally got a priest as St. Philip's, the first one. His name was the Reverend Atkin Williamson. And he ended up being censured by the church. It was an incident where apparently a lot of his parishioners had gotten the priest all liquored up, and they found him inside the church in the middle of the night, drunk, baptizing a bear. Among the oldest buildings in the city there, the Powder Magazine goes back over 300 years. The little house right next to it as well, not the oldest building in the city, but that is the oldest home in the city, 1709. Alright, so there you can see old St. Philip's over there through the trees, right? So St. Philip's, that was the Anglican church, the Church of England, which back in the colonial days was the government-sponsored church. Everything was divided up into parishes. As long as you pay taxes to the Church of England, you could worship however you wanted to. So this one was founded just a year later, 1681, as the so-called Dissenters Church, those who dissented from Anglicanism. So English Congregationalists, Scottish Presbyterians, French Protestants called Huguenots. You guys familiar with the word Huguenot? Yeah, French Protestants who came here fleeing religious persecution. We're actually in the French Quarter right now. So all these groups, Quakers, all would have worshipped together on this site before later branching off and forming their own churches. But it was the original church on that site that was the meeting house that gave the street we're on its name. And Charleston is the second most haunted city in America.
Which one's the first? Savannah, Georgia?
Well, which one is the first most haunted? There's like 10 cities that claim to be.
Yeah.
The Travel Channel said New Orleans. Civil War General P.G.T. Beauregard. He used this hotel for his headquarters for a time. If you ever stay here and you're walking down the hallway and you see a dapper looking guy in a Confederate uniform with a curly cute mustache and he walks through the wall. This is the Hibernian Society. Who knows what the word Hibernia means? Latin for Ireland.
Ireland, oh wow.
Yes, so the old Irish Society here. This, one of a number of benevolent societies established in the city. The St. Michael's. Since old St. Michael's there managed to survive all the fires and hurricanes and earthquakes and wars. That's the oldest church building in the city.
Oh.
Begun in 1752. Finished in 1761. It's still got the same bells up there in the steeple that have been chiming over the city since 1761. We'll be seeing as we continue down here, up and built by wealthy planters, is a townhouse. We saw the Irish Society back up there. This is the French Society.
French Society.
South Carolina Society. Yeah, so to go back to the Huguenots I mentioned, Huguenot, Huguenots, or as a Frenchman would say, Huguenot, French Calvinists like Presbyterians, and it was after Louis XIV in 1685 he had decreed the Catholic Church to be the only legal church in France, and so they fled persecution. This is one of many places where the Huguenots fled to, but yeah, their old society there. Founded 1737 in this case, the beautiful hall there from 1804. They got a real pretty ballroom on the second floor. That's a popular spot for things like wedding receptions and debutante parties. I did spend a good bit of time there as a kid. It's where they have cotillion class too.
Oh, okay.
Where you run ballroom dancing in good manners. Better do 2 years.
You failed the first one, right?
I got held back.
Gotcha.
Well, you know, guys, in this old town, things like debutante parties, cotillion class, that sort of thing, you know,
It's a thing.
they die hard around here. I'll tell you another oldest joke in Charleston. It says, it kind of ties into all that. It says, how many Charlestonians does it take to screw in a light bulb? And the answer there, 5, 1 to screw the bulb in, 2 to mix the cocktails, and the other 2 to reminisce about how fantastic the old light bulb was. Oldest Presbyterian church in the South. First Scots. Y'all see the sign there, the building itself from 1814. What do you guys think that church is built of? It looks like it, doesn't it? But that is not the case. It's brick. It was common to build a brick and cover the brick in stucco. Store lines in the stucco to make it look like blocks of stone. Nathaniel Russell House here. So, in the history of the United States, there were 2 types of slave trade. There was the international slave trade of actually bringing people from across the sea. That was outlawed in the United States in 1808. And then following that, the domestic slave trade. When the international slave trade was going, Charleston was the biggest slave port in America. That being said, most of the ships that actually brought these people through here were based out of Newport, Rhode Island, or New York City. Newport, Rhode Island was the biggest hub for slave ships in America. And that's where this fella came from, Nathaniel Russell, was Rhode Island. And it was there where he had made a fortune through the slave trade before coming south. As I mentioned, the international trade outlawed in 1808, same year the house was built. I don't know if there's a correlation there or not. I've tried to find out. I wasn't able to find one. But anyway, though, yeah, Nathaniel Russell, slave trader, shipping merchant. Being that he was from up north and being he was from rich, he had a nickname they called Russell, the King of the Yankees. And it is a beautiful home inside. What the Russell house is most famous for is the staircase. Beautiful. It's called a free-flying staircase. It's a spiral staircase with no visible means of support. Pineapple, traditional symbol of welcome and hospitality. Yeah, PGT Beauregard, his full name was impressive. Brigadier General Pierre Gustave Touton Beauregard. And Beauregard, he was a Louisianan and was the first full general in the Confederate Army. And Beauregard was also a trained civil engineer, and that's why he was sent here. It was he who oversaw the construction of the various fortifications in the harbor in the weeks leading up to the firing on Fort Sumter. And upon his arrival, he indeed did have his headquarters set up at the hotel up the street. This house at the time was owned by the owner of the hotel, who gave him the use of it, and for a period of several months, this home right here served as Beauregard's so-called executive headquarters. He was the person who would go down in history as giving the orders to fire the first shots of the Civil War, which came from this home. But yeah, 1760, the date on that one. All these houses have stories, you know. Got General Beauregard's house, this one here on the corner there from 1720, over 300-year-old house, one of the oldest in the city. Yeah, 1760. That one notably was home of South Carolina's last royal governor, the last English governor of the colony, Lord William Campbell. Not an enviable job. He was forcibly expelled from the city in 1775 upon threat of his life. Look behind that home though. See through the trees, a little brick building back in the back. That's real typical with these old houses. You look behind them and you see the old dependency buildings, old carriage houses, old kitchen houses. What you see most often is old slaves' quarters. So, see the address on top of the gate?
34 and a half.
Yeah, if you live in the old carriage house in the back, you get a half an address.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they always call it, the carriage house. More often it's old slaves' quarters. That doesn't sound nearly as charming.
That's right.
This one is post-Civil War, though. That one from the 1870s, the Williams Mansion. and that's my place.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, so 8 o'clock, that's dinner time.
Those are statues that we're staring at.
No, it is quite a place. So, George Williams.
Those statues got some really creepy eyes. The dark colored ones.
I agree. I have
Staring into your
noticed
soul.
the creepy eyes.
Their eyes are weird.
Yeah, I want that at the foot of my bed at night, for sure.
That's going like this. I don't know. Their eyes are weird.
Yeah, it's like that Annabelle movie, sort of.
Probably.
Oh man, now I'm gonna have nightmares. Well,
Get the horror music going on.
you know what's
We
really
walked
weird?
past earlier, it was
You know what's
weird.
really weird is when that statue cranks his head around 360 degrees.
Oh boy.
That is freaky.
Well, there's a dog in the window too.
George Williams, yeah, one of the richest people in the post-Civil War South. He made a fortune through banking and the wholesale grocery business. And 1875 hired over 400 people to build him a house and put in about $250,000. That was a lot of money in the 1870s. A lot of money today, but a lot of money in the 1870s. And with 35 main rooms and over 24,000 square feet, it is by far the largest private residence in the city. Which for years was open for tours. The gentleman who owns it, he lives in the place full time and had it open for tours even when he was living there, but closed up because of the COVID.
Beautiful.
You like that one, too?
Yeah, that one's nice.
1801. See the rope around the windows and around everything, got the rope molding? That's indicative of somebody who made their money from the sea. Well, you guys see the lovely park here, White Point Gardens. Park here got laid out in the 1830s, and yeah, as you see, very charming place. People come down here today to usually do nice things like have picnics and walk their dogs and do yoga, and a lot of people get married here. Most of the brides who get married here, though, they don't realize they're declaring their love at the same place where 78 men were hanged in 2 mass hangings for the crime of piracy.
Ooh.
Yeah, piracy. So I'm taking us back to the real early days now. 1718. Well, you see, what got Charlestonians so riled up that led to that in May of 1718, the most famous of the Caribbean pirates, Edward Teach,
Oh
was
yeah.
city hostage. Well, Edward Teach, his nickname, we've all heard it before, Blackbeard.
Blackbeard.
The most
Yep.
famous of the Caribbean pirates. Yeah, in May 1718, Blackbeard had a fleet of 4 ships and around 400 men. He entered Charleston Harbor. With his 4 ships, proceeded to blockade the entrance to the port. The whole economy of the city revolved around the port, so blockading the harbor disrupted everything. And Blackbeard put his ships in position to start potentially laying siege to the city. 300 years ago, the whole town was only 4 blocks by 3 blocks. But yeah, Blackbeard indeed there in position to start bombing Charleston. Under cover of darkness, a ship carrying around 80 citizens of the city, including the mayor, tried to sneak through the pirate blockade. They were trying to sail south to Port Royal down the coast to ask for help. The ship got intercepted, so now Blackbeard had a bunch of hostages, including the mayor of the city, and he sent 2 emissaries at her town to demand a ransom, which wasn't money, but medical supplies, a chest of medicines. I won't go into grisly detail here. It's thought a bunch of the pirates had syphilis. But the threat was if they didn't receive their ransom of medical supplies within 1 week, they'd return the head of the same mayor that they had kidnapped. Yeah, the mayor kept his head. Blackbeard got his ransom, and during the same week-long blockade, successfully overtook and plundered 8 merchant ships in the process as well. To tell that story more concisely, in May 1718, Blackbeard the pirate held the entire city of Charleston hostage for a week. Humiliating. So that's what led to the crackdown on piracy. One of the finest examples of Georgian architecture in the country.
Beautiful.
This particular one is an oldie too. That one goes back 1732. But yeah, it's called a single house because they're one room wide. So if all the windows of the house were opened up, every room of the house could get air circulation. Down here behind that.
Thank you, Chico. You get to go in for the night, huh? Yeah.
Oh, I'm coming.
Chico,
Over here.
over there.
Oh, I'm in the
Here.
space.
Chico. Our tour guide was really knowledgeable and answered all of our questions. And I learned a lot. I thought the pirate hanging was interesting as well, and just the history of these homes. And yes, there's different routes that they take, and it's kind of like by a lottery system. So I guess that's controlled by the city. But yeah, it was really fun. And a famous pineapple fountain. And when you think of South Carolina, I think of this fountain anyways. So this here is Rainbow Row. This is the famous, you see a lot of the paintings and photos of.
Yeah.
And it's the longest cluster of intact Georgia houses in the United States. They were built in 1680. Today was a good day. It was a cool day after all them continuously hot days. But I absolutely love Charleston, and we were only here for the one day, but we want to come back and spend a few days and tour some of the homes. There's a couple plantations outside of town here. There's lots to do, lots to see. If you like this vlog,
Give it a thumbs up.
also if you haven't, please subscribe so you don't miss these upcoming road trip adventures. And until next time,
Thanks for watching. Bye, everyone.
bye everyone.